Can you describe to us then what the nutritarian diet involves and what it doesn't involve?
It's definitely a plant-based diet, so it couldn't be done with a vegan diet where you're having no animal products, and then you have to supplement intelligently to have B12, zinc, and DHA, or it could be done with a small amount of animal product, like a few servings a week or a few or limited ounces, but we're still eating a large quantity of high nutrient plants, particularly a salad every day, and with both, and also cooked vegetables and cooked beans and cooked mushrooms. So we're having a mixture of cooked vegetables and raw vegetables. We say that there are like 5 categories of foods, vegetables, fresh fruit, intact whole grains, beans, legumes, and nuts and seeds. Those five categories of foods, of unrefined foods. And there's a whole bunch of incredible recipes we can make, like salad dressings and sauces for the vegetable-based dishes, and desserts made with an icing or a cream sauce or an ice cream made out of whipped bananas with macadamia nuts and real vanilla bean powder. There's all types of delicious foods that we can make out of natural foods that we're not feeding the body with oil and fat, with oil and animal fats, because most Americans and most people, as you know, in the modern world, get almost all their fat from oil or from animal fats, like butter or eating a piece of steak or bacon or something. Whereas a nutritarian diet gets almost exclusively its fats from eating nuts and seeds and avocados, not from eating oils from the nut or seed, but eating the whole nut or seed as your source of fat. And you have a complete biological opposite effect when you do that. One causes a rush of calories in the bloodstream leading to fat storage, and the other causes us to slowly absorb the fat so it's preferentially burned for energy and not absorb all the fat that was in the food. So you're not even be able to, so you feel like you're satiated with all these calories you ate, but the calories never fully get absorbed into the bloodstream. Mm-hmm. So it naturally calorically restricts us when our fats come from these whole food sources. So we're eating this diet that's based on nutrient comprehensiveness, a comprehensive micronutrient adequacy, which means getting all the micronutrients we need in high levels, trying to achieve a high cellular density of micronutrients. So we want to have antioxidants and micronutrients in our cells that are dense. And when you gain weight, you dilute the nutrient density of your cells. You're dispersing your nutrients through a bigger mass. You're having the nutrient concentration in your cells. So we're looking to eat a diet that's rich in nutrients, and we're looking to keep the body fat low at the same time. So I'm saying that a body fat for a male greater than 15% will shorten lifespan and promote disease, and a body fat for a female greater than 25% will lead to more significant risk as you go up from there. My body fat, for example, at the age of 70 is probably around 11%, I think, right now, 11% body fat. So, I mean, and so even though 25 body fat for a female is maybe not ideal, at least that's acceptable. And then you can be healthy with a body fat 25% or below for a female, and 15% and below, you could be healthy for a male, even though it may not be ideal, that body fat.
And what do you say to people who think that you should have a little bit of extra fat on your body in case you get sick? Something like a store to use while your appetite is down because you're ill or bedridden.
Well, if you have more body fat to protect you from getting sick, it's going to make you get sick. I mean, it's, even 10 pounds of extra body fat almost doubles the risk of dying from pneumonia. Even just 10 pounds of body fat doubles the risk of dying from pneumonia. So we're talking about you playing with fire, and we work as we age to maintain our musculoskeletal mass and strength and the same body composition we had when we were younger. If you want to live to be 100 years old, what are we doing? We're trying to exercise and eat right so we keep our same musculoskeletal mass and strength and low body fat percent. That's the goal, is to try to keep, and how do you keep your blood pressure low as you age either? I mean, if you're going to salt your foods and overeat, it's going to eventually climb up as you get older. Mm-hmm. It takes a lot of work and effort to maintain your youthful numbers, your youthful blood pressure, youthful body fat percent. we're naturally going to lose some muscle mass and bone mass and brain size and immune function as we age. And eventually, with the immunosenescence, you're going to eventually, die of something. We can't live forever. But the whole key here is, how do we resist, slow down, retard that natural weakening of the body and aging of the brain and aging of the immune system? And nutritional excellence is very powerful at being able to stop that rapid decline we see for most Americans. They're at 65, they already are like a couch potato.
Mm-hmm.
They can't do sports, and they can't sprint, and they can't play singles tennis or ski down a mogul field or surf, or they can't do anything. They can't play pickleball even half the time. I mean, people are, they're just so in such bad shape by the time they're even 65 years old that they have to have a sedentary life practically.
Not to mention the amount of prescription drugs they'll be on as well.